Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Range podcast with HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. I am Mark Kelley from KelleyDefense.com, and join with me, as always, in the new year from warhog.com is my co-host and friend, Rick Hogg. How's it going, buddy?
Man, Mark, it's going great. Big shout out to the viewer listener out there for giving us your most precious commodity. Guys, do us a huge favor. Swing by warhog.com, KelleyDefense.com, On the Range podcast. Sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, we will not inundate you with a bunch, but I'm at least trying to give you probably one a week. Just give you an update to the new episodes. We are both pushing blog articles across all our different websites. So again, just something else to help you guys out. But since you're out there surfing the interwebs, do us that huge favor. Hit that like, subscribe, leave us a rating review. Here's the thing. I looked at Apple. It's been a while, right? It's been a while since, what was it? I forget who the one was left us the eggplants, but yeah, dude.
It's been a minute.
And say, hey, just leave us a thumbs up emoji. He stuck us eggplants. I don't care, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's all this big tech manipulation, and the only way we beat it is with your support. So appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. Wherever you are, thank you for making this part of your day. And you know what? We want to start the new year off with some other things, and we're going to talk about the resolutions. This isn't a resolution. This is something that we just want to do. We want to make sure that we recognize Jeff C. He's our newest military law enforcement member. So big shout out to him. Thank you, Jeff. Bumping in the new year with a bang and joining the crew. If you like this content and you want to get more of it, go to ontherangepodcast.com, click the join the crew. You can try it for free for 7 days and go ahead and see if it's up your alley, because I know we're going to do some Zoom calls here pretty soon. But, also we want to reach out to Brian, Reed, Chris. There's a couple other folks that were integral in making the last Q&A a success. So thanks to those crew members. And we just wanted to give them a shout out. So go check that out. But yeah, Rick, it's a new year. And we're going to talk about some New Year's resolution stuff, or lack thereof, because if it's important enough to do something, you should do it now.
Yep.
It is a new year. And if that's what you need to start this year, hey, go ahead and do you. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some current events, because a fantastic display of the military might that is the United States military. And so proud of those folks. I'm glad everybody's okay. And we're glad it was a success, but we have many thoughts on that. So if you want to go ahead and start about the Venezuela issue, go ahead, Rick. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it.
Here's the thing. So yeah, we kicked off 2026 literally with a bang. An incredible display of U.S. power, without a doubt. Now, it's funny because you have those on the left hooping, screaming, yelling. You got the Dems going, oh, you should have told us. Well, starting to trickle out that I think some Dems knew. Rumor has it old Hakeem Jeffries' office tried to make a phone call down to Venezuela for some warning, but he'd already been scooped up. So, but the thing is, everyone wants to go Trump this, Trump that. Hey, it was a power grab. Here you had a dictator. So you have to understand no history. And this is important, where the majority of Americans don't understand global history. I'm not saying you have to, but at least have some context with it. So basically, Venezuela has been under a dictatorship for the last 25 years. In turn, they've got the biggest oil reserves in the world. Yet the people live in absolute slums, horrible conditions, right? The people are crapped on, where they should be at least getting something out of all this oil. Well, in turn, you've got Venezuela pumping God knows how much illegal narcotics here into the United States. And it finally got to a point where we started taking action against the drug boats. And once again, the Dems are out there hooping and hollering, going, oh, you can't be doing that. Oh, that's a violation. Again, know your U.S. history. In the 80s, headed by Chuck Schumer, he actually signed, I think it was Defense in the Water Act or something. I forget the exact name, where he basically was championing this legislation where we could do that. And then shockingly, he's back there. Oh, I want to see the footage. Show me the unedited. Really, Chuck? You agreed to it. So again, it just shows you these politicians, really where they sit at. But long story short, Trump took action, wanted to stop killing of American citizens by all this fentanyl narcotics coming into the country. He took action, put old Maduro on notice, stop or else. Of course, the dictator being the dictator is, hoop and hollering, come get me. And sure enough, he had the warning. And as old Pete Hegseth said, F around and find out. Well, he most certainly did. America's Honest went in there and scooped him up. And here's the thing. It wasn't a snatch, right? Talking about this in pre-production. There was an arrest warrant for him. They just basically made an apprehension, extradite him back to the U.S. to face the charges that he's on. So, but the beauty with that raid is it put the world on notice. Hey, man, don't screw with the U.S. We will come in there in the darkness of the night, scoop you and your old lady out of the bed, and we will extradite you back to the United States. So I think on the grand scheme, lefties say what you want, you bunch of Sallys. Once you go down to Venezuela and live in the swill, well, they actually start turning around now. But it just shows don't screw around with the U.S. And when you have a powerful leader in charge, hey, man, you execute the right things and you bring justice. The left is always saying no one's above the law. Well, you know what? In this case, Maduro wasn't. There was an arrest warrant. I think we talked about, was it back in 2020? I think initially it went out. Hey, got it renewed, all good to go, and basically executed an arrest warrant for him, brought him back to the United States.
Yeah, 100%. It was back in 2020 when they started talking about this and that indictment came down. Narco-terrorism, I think, was a couple of them. The underlying basis of all that.
Yeah.
But they refreshed it in the coming weeks of this operation, for sure. They refreshed it in the Southern District of New York, no less.
Yeah. And the thing is, and I got to hit on this from two standpoints, right? So from the United States side, how can you be a United States citizen and sit there and hoop and holler when our own citizens are dying from this poison? We are trying to stop the poison from coming in. Are we ever going to beat it? No, you're not. It's one of those deals. It is what it is. But hey, man, you can stop that crap from coming in, and hats off to Trump for doing it. And then hats off for actually pulling the trigger and going, you know what? He's got an arrest warrant. Let's go execute it.
Yeah.
And our U.S. military did a fabulous job. Yes. So absolutely outstanding. Yep.
Yeah. The law enforcement agencies that were involved, prove that further point that this was an arrest that were present during the operation portion of this. And, not to make light of anybody's involvement, all the stuff in the air, on the sea, just flawless. I think the youngest person involved in that operation was 20 years old.
Yeah.
It just goes to show you the caliber of folks that we have. And we're super, super glad that everybody's okay and that they did what they needed to do. And here's another thing too. Rick and I, we've been in these situations. We want the least amount of loss of life always. We want to be able to walk up, hey, here's the handcuffs, put them on, let's go. That's what we're looking for. But most of the time that doesn't happen. And when you have this caliber of folks doing what they did, the loss of life 100% was limited because of their precision and their accuracy, and then just the softening the target type stuff and the communication piece. It was phenomenal. But right, Rick, this is an arrest, and the liberals love to talk about how they're humanitarians and they're all for humanitarian stuff, and they allow this stuff to go on in Venezuela. Why? I don't know. You have to ask yourself. And it's another thing with the fentanyl. They're all about, mitigating the fentanyl tragedy that's going on in this country right now. But get mad when we eliminate tons and tons of this stuff coming in every month. We're not talking about every year. We're talking about every month. And they don't want to do anything about it. And when someone does something about it that's on the wrong side of the aisle, they don't have enough love for this country to stand up and say, that was what we needed to do. We need to stop this tragedy. Our people are dying. Young people are dying. And one more thing, Rick, before you comment on that.
Yeah, buddy.
With this type of thing going on, and someone possibly, and it might be trickling out, that they were trying to reach out to the State Department or to the state officials in that dictator regime to let them know what was coming on. They should 100% be tried for treason.
Yeah.
And they're putting American lives who are operating, law enforcement, not just military, law enforcement in that region, their lives at risk.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. And you know what? We'll talk about the things that were going on in Venezuela, because this here is something that was probably a long time coming.
No, and it's funny, Mark, because you've got the lefties hooping and hollering. Okay, that, oh, we shouldn't have done that. It was a violation. We're kidnapping, everything else.
Nope.
Go look at Venezuela.
Yeah.
This is the part these idiots never get. Go look at Venezuela. Anything that had Maduro's face sign, dude, they're ripping it off. They're getting rid of it. Right?
100%.
They're cheering,
celebrating in the streets.
Celebrating in the streets. Those Venezuelans that are here in the United States going, thank God. Right? I've lived under oppression my entire life under this dictatorship. And now let's try to turn things around. Now, you brought up a great point when we were talking pre-production, the vacuum of power. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing, and Trump kind of hit on it. Hey, we're going to run Venezuela. I don't know how much we're going to run it, but he says a bunch of stuff. I would just say this. His terminology may not be correct. There just needs to be some oversight to make sure, because it's like, yeah, they do have a vice president. Not sure the legality, because Maduro's election, everyone knows, was rigged. Where does the VP sit in? Probably a Maduro supporter. Does that necessarily go in line? Who knows, right? But you brought up a great point. There has to be at least some oversight. You just can't sit there and go, all right, hey, man, Venezuela, you take it over. And then potentially you're in that same boat again. Mm-hmm. Of course, you got the Russians and the Chinese all hooping and hollering because, they were getting oil from them cats. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. Hey, man, just understand this. Hey, world, you're on notice. In Pete's words, and I loved it, F around with the U.S. and you're going to find out what happens. Yeah. And that's the bottom line. If that doesn't put you in check, know that you're going to get snatched out of your bed at dark 30. Hey, man. Hate it for you. So, but it was just an incredible display of U.S. might across the board.
Yeah. And speaking of that vacuum of power, it is a concern, 100%. Mm-hmm. But that also speaks to the instability in that country, because it's been so used to operating under a dictator and being in that position that maybe this guy is going to work out. I don't know. But the bottom line is that there has to be some oversight, because we didn't just do this on a whim. There was diplomacy. There was diplomacy. Mm-hmm. There was sanctions. There was negotiations. All these things have been going on for years.
Yep.
This is the last option. Mm-hmm. And we were there. So anybody who seems to think, these sanctions, for example, one of the big sanctions in these type of situations is no cash payments for oil and these gold and whatever the sanctioned items are. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is, where do you think that money goes? It goes right into the pocket of these dictators. That's what happens. It's a money grab for these folks, money and power. They've been doing this stuff for a long time, and it needed to stop. And you're right, man. These folks down there are 100% better off today. We just have to have some oversight and see if we can give them an opportunity to have some democracy. It's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging, but I can tell you right now, the oil spigot is off. Yeah, it's off. And here's another thing too. What do you think all these folks who think that this was a power grab by Trump and oil and all this other stuff? No, it was diplomacy. It would have been so much easier for us to have an agreement with them where they weren't doing negative stuff to the United States, and we could just buy their oil. That's so much easier and cheaper than doing all these other things. But he wouldn't do it.
No, and I got to hit one point that will kind of bring things full circle, I think. Did you see old Mindani's swearing in for his mayoral deal up in New York?
I did.
So my man swears in on a Quran. Mm-hmm. And in that book, it states, if you are an infidel, it's their job to kill you. Either convert you or kill you. And nobody bats an eye at that. Interesting, right? So the lefties are so left. They're so out of touch with reality that you let your mayor swear in on a book that says, if you're not Muslim, schwack 'em.
Yeah.
Let that one sink in, peeps. But hey,
Yeah.
you voted them in. Best of luck to you.
Yeah. And here's one more thing. I think, that's 100% right. That's the only book they read. That's the only thing they pay attention to. That's the only thing they care about. And it's just a fact.
Yeah.
Just to put this to kind of wrap this thing up, I think that a very, very smart move, and I think we're going to do it. I think it's already happening, and I can't wait for the reports to come out. That humanitarian crisis down there, we are going to start dumping resources into that so that these folks down there are better off immediately. It's going to do a couple of things. One, it's the right thing to do. Second, it's going to garner a lot of sympathy and love for what we are trying to do from the indigenous people. And what's the other folks going to say? What's the other side of the aisle going to say? They can't say anything. What, you want us to stop with humanitarian? You want us to stop giving them, food, water, medical assistance where they weren't getting it before under the dictator? You want us to stop all that? So it's a no-win situation for someone who thinks that this wasn't the right move.
Yeah.
And it's not about, leveling up or anything like that. It's about the right thing to do. And we've went through our diplomacy, and it was just time to act.
And I think one other thing to add to that, Mark, and then we can shift topics, right?
Yeah.
But again, Trump, he makes a lot of statements, doesn't really put the juice behind, but talked about, hey, working the oil down there. Think about this from just the mere humanitarian side, and I don't know what they export for oil. I think they're doing less than 1 million barrels, but they were up to, like, I think at their peak 3+ million, barrels a day or whatever it was. Here's the point. Imagine that country now, if they can start getting those reserves, what is that going to do for that country, for those people? How many more people are going to have jobs? How much more wealth is going to be coming in there to those citizens? So the humanitarian, you want to get resources to people that have been oppressed from this dictator without a doubt. But then at the same token, if you can get your own infrastructure built, man, that's a win-win across the board. So I just want to add that one quick point in there.
No, and that's got a good foundation of industry that they could really build upon, with all kinds of other resources that they do have. But well, the wages, people are going to start getting paid now. It's just things like that. And that's the kind of things that they're going to ensure that happens. I mean, it probably would have been a lot worse if those sanctions weren't involved, because some of these other companies just don't want to mess with it. So we'll see. We'll see. But that spigot is off, and then it's going to be heavily, heavily regulated for a long time. I mean, a few decades, I would think.
No, it's going to have to be.
Yeah, it's going to have to be. Yeah, because someone will just swoop in and fill that void, and then it's over.
The last thing you want is either the Chinese or the Russians getting there. They already had their fingers in there, but we don't want their fingers in there anymore.
Yeah. As always, Rick, this episode is brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook, 1% Better Every Day by HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. It was a great year for the notebook last year. It was actually a great year for the podcast as well. Just go on to ontheRangePodcast.com and check out the tab with the Firearms Training Notebook, 1% Better Every Day, and go ahead and check that out. You can get it on Amazon. They'll print it to you, and they're pretty good about it. You get it within a week, and you can start documenting your data from your training sessions, whether it's firearms or fitness. And I tell you what, if you're not writing it down and you're not tracking it, you're not going to have a good plan for your next training session.
Or are you even doing it?
That's right.
Sorry, that's my inside voice, guys. Sorry about that one.
Yeah. So anyway, another thing that comes up every year, we talk about it every year. It's usually our first episode, and this year's no different. As we roll into 2026, we have some things going out on the crew that's rolling out for the new year, and it's going to, I think it's going to be very beneficial for the crew members. So if you haven't, I know we talked about it a lot, go check that out. And it's going to be a fitness program that we incorporate into many of the other things that we do. And it just so happens that it's coming out at the first of the year. So everybody thinks, Rick and Mark have a New Year's resolution, huh?
No,
not at all.
It's merely coincidental, and it's really crew member based. So this whole thing, we've been very much on the firearm side, and the crew was like, we'd like to get into some more fitness stuff because we talk about the fitness and firearms all the time. So it was really the request from them. It just so happened it happened last month, which now, hey, with us getting kind of this package together for them, yeah, it's the first of the year. Guys, I've said this, and if you go, Rick, I've never heard you say that. Watch some of the episodes past. I think I did one, Words of Wisdom, last year around the same time. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. They're garbage.
Yeah.
That's me. If you wake up, pick whatever day it is, I don't care, and you go, I want to make change, you make change today. You don't put some arbitrary date on the calendar. You don't do some rubbish. The only time you put in dates, hey, man, I'm going to do this. I've got to go to SHOT Show. Yep, there are the dates. I'm going up to Alaska on a cruise. Yep. You put those things on the calendar. You want self-change, you start today. There's no mark in the calendar. You execute today. And you do that by putting some tools in place. The Firearms Training Notebook, in conjunction with your workout. So you annotate. So now I'm just adding a little more to my dry fire piece. I'm just putting in what my workout is. I still got my dry fire routine in there. We still got plenty of space in there. I still got note sections. I still can do everything in there. I can still put the dates. I can do everything just like I do my dry fire, except I'm going to ramp it up one more. I'm going to take it to that next level to now I'm going to take care of me for my personal longevity. Working out helps my TBI recovery. It makes me feel fit. Mama likes it because I look good. Everyone wants that, right? Hey, mama, come on over here, right? But I want to be able to chase my grandkids when I'm 70, 80, 90 years old. When I'm 90 years old, my son wants to run his smack to me. Son, I'll beat you down. My grandkids, I'll beat you boys down, right? That's Rick. Now, what you want to do, hey, that's your choice. But you execute your plan today. You want to make personal change today. And it was kind of like with the accountability check with the words of wisdom. Hey, man, you done your dry fire? You done your fitness? You done your act of kindness? What are you grateful for? Why do I got a gym down in the garage? Because it's open 24/7, 365. Now, granted, I prefer to get my workout in. If you want to know more about what I'm doing for my morning routine, super easy. Swing by warhog.com or ontherangepodcast.com. You'll find a new blog post on there, right? Boom, there it is. But my whole point is we are 100% advocating. You want to be that 1% better. You want to make change. You execute today. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. You listen to this and you haven't worked out. Go down to the gym. Get that workout in. You haven't done any dry fire? Get her done. Make yourself that better, So if you want to take the 5 F's, as we like to say, firearms, fitness, family, faith, finances, it all wraps together. You can find something that fits under those F's and plug it in. Because I'm here to tell you this, guys, right? Especially for my law enforcement military members, I got it. You put the time in. You're away from the family. And at the time, it makes sense because I was that guy. My family sacrificed for my selfish needs. But when that door closes for you on the last time, who's standing there ready to meet you? Yeah, the old family that you had crapped on all those years before. Invest time in your family. Under that F, you could put family. You could put your friends in there. Oh, look at there. We got another F. We can keep going on with all the Fs, right? My point being, harness the relationships, harness yourself, be a better version of you. Get that 1% better. Use the Firearm Training Notebook as that tool to drive the catalyst and make change in your life. Execute that change today.
Yeah. We say it all the time. Every day that you wake up, you can do something that's going to get you towards your goals, or you cannot do something that's going to get you towards your goals. It's your choice. It's your choice that you make every single day. And everybody fights it. Everybody fights it. So the whole motivation piece, garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It's discipline. It's discipline that builds consistency. Consistency builds momentum. That's how you start to affect change. And if you're not doing that, then you need to start it today. Not because it's the first year. You should every time you think of something like that, you should do it today and just build that momentum and get going, get rolling.
Yeah.
We have that. Rick and I don't have that problem. We don't have that problem. We'll launch out anything. Hey, man, I got an idea. What do you think about it? Hey, let's launch it.
Yeah. Or let's tweak it or adjust it or whatever the case may be. It's making change, so the podcast is a prime example. You want to see change between HOGG Tactical, Kelley Defense on the Range podcast. Go listen to episode 1. Go watch the video. Oh, that's right. There is none. Tell me how that audio quality is. Yeah.
Oh boy.
You might need the squeaky thing on your ear to, what are they saying? What are they talking about? Right. Who knows to where we are today?
Yeah.
It is 180% out the better direction, but you got to start somewhere. That's the only way you do it. So with all that, you have to understand that idea comes up. Again, I'm a pen to paper guy. Write it down, go execute. You got to do something, write it down, execute. But don't wait for some arbitrary date. Make it happen as soon as you can. And I got it. I like to work out first thing in the morning. I used to be more of a lunchtime guy, but with the businessman, hey, phone call comes in, something pops up, mama needs something. Your day gets distracted. You knock that thing first. You knock that out first thing in the morning. You got my fitness, firearms done. Your day's clean. So now if you got distractions in there, hey man, it doesn't matter because those blocks are already checked. So, and getting back to what you were saying, Mark, as far as the discipline, here's the thing, guys, right? There's days you're going to wake up and you're not going to feel it. I'm telling you, you're going to go, oh, I feel like crap or something's going on. Go do it. Get in there. Do kind of, I say this and don't take me wrong. I want you to go through the motions because you're going to make the change. Are you going to be able to put the same intensity that you normally would? Probably not, but it might come along, right? There's been times that I've started, man, I feel like crap. But by that second, hey, that third rep, hey, man, I've got some things worked out. Body's starting to get warmed up. Hey, we're getting something out of it. So just because you feel janky, don't let that stop you from getting after it. Do something. I mean, heck, dude, if you can't do nothing else, get out and go put some miles on the road, right?
Yeah.
You go, Rick, I'm not a runner. Well, then go walk or go rock. Or there's all kinds of stuff you can do. But start today. Trust me, your family will appreciate it. Your body will appreciate it. Your grandkids will appreciate it. It's just a win-win across the board.
Yeah. Great episode, Rick. Yeah, man. I'm totally down with it. And the thing about it is you can always go to the crew. You can always go to the crew and check that out, and we will help you along. It's a great like-minded group of individuals that just want to be 1% better every day. Yeah. And it's going to be a great year. We're going to have some Zoom call stuff coming up. We got the new series coming up. You may have already seen some of the stuff with the EDC out there that I thought was a tremendous hit. And we're going to keep doing those. We're going to keep working for you here every day to make sure that you get the content and any of the support that you need to make sure that whatever you're implementing is successful. And I think it's going to be great. The book did well. It's a wrap up of this last year. The book did well and the shows went well. We did a lot of traveling this year. I think the podcast, Rick, has gone from 0 to 100 in the last several months, and it's not slowing down. You've been on the phone all morning talking about that very thing.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's just going to be awesome. And again, big thank you to the crew members who were very active this last month. So we're going to start doing that, at the beginning of every show. And the new members, Jeff C. Joining the crew, law enforcement, military tier. So yeah, it's good, man. The thing is you can, if you're kind of on the edge about starting something, I think that piece about writing it down, Rick, is huge. It's huge. It visualize it and it becomes something that you kind of feel like you owe to it now. It's not just a dream. And that's a great point about the journaling and just kind of writing down what your goals are.
It's proven. And if you don't believe me, do some research, right? There's something about pen to paper. There's some therapeutic connection versus you typing versus you thumbing on the phone. There's a better neurological pathway connection or something. I don't know all the science behind it. By you putting pen to paper, by you writing your thoughts down. I'll try to find some more stuff on it and let you guys know, but I'm telling you, if you can get that pen to paper, do it. I know it works for me. If you don't do it, try it. See if it makes a change. What's it going to hurt? Nothing. You got to write in your notebook anyway. Do a little extra writing. I'm telling you, it'll pay the dividends for you in the long run.
Yeah. So anyway, folks, make sure you go check out the crew because the crew always has content, bonus content. There's going to be some more today that we're going to do. Make sure you check it out because the show always continues on the crew members page.
For the rest of you guys, don't forget, We're going to change it up this year. Be an athlete, be dangerous, and we'll see you on the range.
On the Range podcast with Rick Hogg and Mark Kelley.